Namaste. Federation of Karnataka Classical Dancers brings to you yet another interesting episode of Dancers Talk, an inspiring journey of the great sadhakas of Karnataka Nritya Kshetra. Mandara Mala Kalitalakayai Kapala Malankita Kandharaya Divyambarayai cha Digambaraya Namah Shivayai cha Namah Shivaya. We bow down to the Srishti and the Shakti and the great soul of Shiva and Shakti to bless us through the session of an exciting evening today where we had the celebrated artist of our state, Guru Srimati Minal Prabhu, with us. We welcome you to the show, ma'am. Namaste. I
Namaste.
take pride in welcoming Sri Sai Venkatesh ji, the captain of our crew, and the interviewer of this great Sadhaki Srimati Minal Prabhu ji onto the board. I take this honor also to present you all in a very nutshell, the great sadhana which has been undergone by Srimati Minal Prabhuji from her beginning of the journey at the illustrious Kalakshetra Foundation for not more than a decade, and also in vocal music in Carnatic tradition, which made her a complete Bharatanatyam artist. With her passion for dance and her quest for excellence, she founded the Mudrika Foundation for Indian Performing Arts in 1976, aiming to impart Kalakshetra Vali or Bani of Bharatanatyam to dedicated and motivated students. Having trained in Abhinaya under the Abhinaya doyen, late Srimati Kalanidhi Narayanan, Minal Prabhu imparts the same subtlety and perspective in her choreography, adding elegance and versatility to storytelling techniques, which are the great imparting techniques of Srimati Kalanidhi Narayanan. Following the Kalakshetra tradition of late Srimati Rukmini Devi Arundel, she has choreographed a series of group and solo dance features like Panchatantra, Traikan, Panchakanya, Krishna Navarasa, Moksha Mudra, Dasha Manjari, and Badrinath, to name a very few, which have been lauded and critically acclaimed. She has traveled across the globe presenting her works and spreading the essence of Carnatic music and dance. In addition to her being a guru and choreographer at Mudrika Foundation, she has continued to express her fervor for the progress of dance education by teaching aesthetics at the Natya Institute of Kathak and Choreography and conducting Bharatanatyam classes at Attakalari Center for the Movement. Vinal Prabhu ji also has released several CDs and DVDs designed to aid budding dancers through their training process. These guides cover an expanse of material from basic theory in Bharatanatyam to the basic items in a Margam too. Through her rich choreographic works, her well-designed courses, her lectures and workshops and motivational talks have been always an inspiring presence. She was awarded the prestigious Karnataka Kalashri Award in the year 2011 for her outstanding contribution to the field of Bharatanatyam and was also conferred with titles Bharat Kala Chudar by the Tamil Isai Sangam Pollachi in 2016. Additionally, she has received Outstanding Young Achievers Award in her younger days, the Singaramani from Sursinga Sansad, Mumbai, Kala Shri from Swanandashrama, Bangalore, the Bharatam Awards, Udupi. Recently, she was also chosen as the best choreographer for the World Dances Online International Dance Contest 2021. She has been honored by Parthasarathi Swami Sabha in March 2020 for telling contribution in the field of dance which she has been doing. Here we have the great Sadhaki among us for the talk session for today, and I leave the floor open now to Guru Minal Prabhuji and Sri Sai Venkatesh ji for an exciting conversation, and I thank this opportunity given for me to introduce this great artist to you all. Namaste.
Thank you, Sagar. Madam Ji, namaste.
Namaste. Namaskara.
It's a great honor to have you with us on
It's an honor to be a
Federation of
part of it.
Karnataka Classical Dancers. The whole world will be happy to hear your journey the unique journey of a great dance artist, a dancer, choreographer, teacher, performer, singer, whatnot, and a great product of Kalakshetra. It's so happy that you are with us today, and we are also very happy to hear something how this wonderful journey of yours started initially, and how I think it's way back from 3, 4, or 5 decades back you started this wonderful journey. And that time it was a big taboo. I don't know how this really journey would have taken. Can you tell us something about how it all started? Do you
Yeah.
have a family with the dancers and musicians, or you took a love for dance, or you were pushed into dance, or Kalakshetra was your dream, or the dance was your dream? Tell us something about it.
Actually, I would say my destiny took me to Kalakshetra because even
Oh,
before I was born, my father had decided that if he had a daughter, she would be learning dancing because he
wow.
was fascinated by Bharatanatyam. He wanted to run away from home and learn from Uday Shankar, but he couldn't didn't
Oh,
have the guts to do it. Because of him, my aunt learned Bharatanatyam, and of course, she could not pursue it because it was not, those days it was very difficult.
yeah.
Apparently when when my cradling ceremony was there, my father brought my aunt and came, and she did Krishnani Begane Baro over there, and my
Oh,
maternal grandfather said, I hope she will become a very good dancer like her aunt. So there was lots of music in my family. My grandmother used to sing Hindustani and Carnatic music, but dance
wonderful.
was not, except for my aunt, nobody was doing. But my father had decided that I was going to learn dancing. So at the age of 4, my brother and I both started learning dancing. My brother, so that
Wonderful.
I would get initiated into it. And this was from one Srinivas Acharya in Udupi, who took us around performing everywhere to Dharmasthala, Subramanya, and all these places. And school, they used to put me on a table to sit so that I can sing. I have to sing, I have to dance, and I have to participate in the dramatics also in school. Then my father saw Yamini Krishnamurthy's dance and read that she had studied in Kalakshetra. And just like I said, it was destiny. My father's friend was working in Chennai in a bank. So he said, I will get the prospectus to you. It's not like today, where you just write and get it and things like that. So he
Yeah.
went and he got the prospectus of Kalakshetra. And then he asked me, would you like to go? In between that, I was learning. My father was actually waiting for Radhakrishna Tantri to come, finish his education in Hyderabad and come to Udupi and teach me. So I was learning with Radhakrishna Tantri also. After that, he said, I want to send her where the education and dance and music and things can go together. So at the age of 4, I went for dancing. At the age of 6, my father put me for dance and music. And at the age of 8, I went to Kalakshetra. So I finished Kalakshetra from
Oh,
age of 8 to 18. So it's been a wonderful journey because I could have gone anywhere else, but destiny took me to the one of the greatest institution, and to be
that's right.
there under the guidance of Rukmini Amma was, I think, I was very lucky.
Wonderful. So how long, that long, what were you doing in Kalakshetra, 8 to 18? It's a
Yeah,
very
because
long time.
yeah, the diploma those days was 5 years, and 2 years was a postgraduate diploma. Mine was the last batch of
Oh,
5 years diploma and 2 years of postgraduate diploma. But when I went there, I was a
okay,
part-time student because I was too young to be put in the diploma course. So I was a part-time
okay,
student going to Besant Theosophical High School. And then I joined Kalakshetra for the 9th standard. So we had these tutors who would come and teach us, and we gave the examination of the Madras matriculation as private candidates, and took up dancing as main. So if we had
oh,
an examination, our quarterly exams and all used to be cancelled for the dance rehearsal and dance classes. So
okay,
education was by the way, dance was the main subject. So can you
okay,
imagine when I
okay,
came out of Kalakshetra, the cultural shock that I had almost gave me a heart attack.
okay.
Because when I came out, everybody said, but I've got exams, I won't come to class. I was devastated. I would go home and cry and tell my mother, the most important thing in my life is the least important in the children's life. So my mother told me, you have to make it the most important thing in their life. It is up to you to make it important. And somehow that word stuck with me, you know. So I strived very hard to make it interesting, to laugh and, you know, be nice. I mean, at some point I realized if I'm shouting at a child and to teach her, that means there is some inadequacy in me. I'm not able to teach. That's why I'm shouting at her. So then the patience came in, you know. Somehow I feel if
Okay.
we are not able to teach, we are frustrated. So we shout at the children. The child is not wrong. The child is
That
coming
is
to
right.
learn. It doesn't know anything. But we have to be patient with them. So these things sort of, 45 years of teaching has taught me a lot of things, a whole lifetime of things that I couldn't possibly have learned in the 10 years of,
Did
you
you
know,
take it?
education.
Yeah, did you take up teaching directly, or were you also performing? Did you do your arangetrams, stage
Yes, I did
shows
my
these
Arangetram
days?
in I did my Arangetram in 1976. After I left
Okay.
Kalakshetra, I went back and Rukmini Atte was the chief guest for that. And she was
Oh,
very surprised that I had managed to, you know, maintain and practice on my own and could do so well and all that. In fact,
oh,
when she came there, she always wanted me to take up music. She would call me, and once in the hostel, I'd sung in front of her. So she liked me, my singing very much. And she called me and she would always call and say, in a part classic point, Rikia, she will say, you know, Atte, it was like God to us. But she always made each and every one of us feel very, very special. She had that quality in her to make each
wow.
person feel that they are the most special person that you can think of. So she would ask me, are you going to music class? So she was willing to give me a scholarship, but unfortunately I wanted to do dancing, not music. So my music was
Uh,
my part-time this thing, and I stuck with dancing. I'm happy with it, but I feel I could have taken up music also, but I did not pursue it much.
okay. What was the relationship with the gurus in Kalakshetra, whom you consider very intimate, or you could share more with? Is it
Yeah,
Atte was there always, or
yeah,
you had different gurus who were teaching, and
yeah.
you could interact more, and that responses were very nice. You could take more of dance.
Yeah. See, Atte was there, but she was also traveling a lot. But she was always there for the examination, and you know, she would come to the hostel and visit us and ask us how we are and things like that. But we had lots of teachers. You know, I would say uh, uh, Krishnamurti Anna was my senior, Kittu Anna,
Oh,
M.R.
Kittu sir.
Krishnamurti,
Oh,
he was
oh,
there,
okay.
Kittu sir, and
Uh,
Krishnaveni Lakshman was there, and Uma Rao from
oh,
Mysore, she was there. She was my senior
okay,
also, and
okay.
Jayalakshmi Ishar. But I was very, very close to NS Jayalakshmi, Jaya teacher as we call her,
Uh-huh,
sorry.
uh-huh.
We call her Jaya teacher. I was very close to her because whatever problems I had, she was there to sort of, you know, the small things that as children we think it's a big deal, you know. So
Yeah.
she would give me a shoulder to speak about all this, and she would nurture all of us where she understood that we were away from our houses, and she would be very kind to us. So even today, when even for this talk, I sent a message to her and said, teacher, I want your ashirvadam, you
Oh
know.
my God.
And of course,
Wonderful.
there is Dhananjay Anna, Shantaka, Janardhan Anna. All of them were very kind to me because I was very young when I went there. I was 8.
Okay.
So they all looked down at me as a small kid, you know. So everybody was fond of me. And that way, it was not a hassle at all. It was a rigorous
Di-
training for us. I,
Okay.
I mean, you know, you would dance and you would say, Kaal valikirdu. Teacher will look at your leg and say, Pavam. Okay, dalang kuta kadikuta kataningenato. Go and dance. That's all. But I am so happy for that because it gives us everything I've learned in my life has come from dance, you know, the discipline to be on time, the discipline to push yourself, the endurance, and anything in life that comes to you is a joy for you because you have gone through so much of endurance in your um, childhood, you know. I mean, it's in a good way. I'm not saying it in a bad way. We were trained to have the grit to continue and go on.
Wonderful, wonderful. How was the response from the family? Your parents were very happy. They were growing into the dance in
Yeah,
such a big
my
way.
parents, yeah, my parents, it was because of my parents I went to learn. I don't think
Yeah.
initially I was interested. I just got interested after I went in there. It was my father's interest that took me initially. But of course, my parents had to face a lot of thing from people. Like I remember one person came to my father and she said, "Enri Lakshmi ide anta challadsira. Dancing ಅಂತ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ಮದ್ರಾಸಿಗೆ ಕಳ್ಸೋದಂತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು and all that." Then people would ask me, dance ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇಡೀ ದಿನ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಿದೆ, what is there for you to learn the full day theory, what is dance theory? And I think at that point it was only Kalakshetra who was teaching us dance theory and all that, and people didn't understand what it was that I was doing the whole day. I remember people, a lot of people came and told my grandparents, "Is your son mad to send an 8-year-old all the way to Madras for dancing?" You know, huchavರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. But my father put up with all this because he was convinced that he wanted me to be a dancer.
Wonderful, wonderful.
He
Did
was
you
a
also
pillar.
get, oh, wonderful. Did you also get opportunities to do with Kalakshetra productions and any other productions or
Yeah.
solo
I was,
performances in sabhas and things like that?
yeah, sabhas I didn't pursue a lot because I don't know, I didn't pursue it because I didn't know people, and I always felt that you need to know people. I don't know what the scene is.
Okay.
Even now I don't go. I didn't do much of the sabhas. Some of my students have done, and I have not done sabhas. But I'm not done. But I did a lot of solo in and around Karnataka, in Udupi, Mangaluru, all that, Tirthalli, Idu, all those places I've gone and danced. Not that they paid me or anything of that sort, but it was an opportunity to dance, and my father was willing to sponsor it those days, and I did it. It was all for probably Ganesha Utsava. Some places we got paid, some places I didn't get paid. But one place I really remember, when Kaushik sir had a festival here in Bangalore. My brother was here. He had gone and approached him and said, "My sister is a dancer from Kalakshetra. Would you like, I mean, would there be a chance to?" Last minute, I think somebody backed out and he called me to dance, and never expected to get paid at all. And at that time, a princely sum of 1,000 rupees was paid.
Oh,
I almost fell off. You know, that time 1,000 was a lot of money.
Lot of money.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, so my father went and said, ಸೇವೆಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, but Virendra Hegdeji paid for the performance and all that. So you know, it was not, but ಈಗನ್ ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಕಲಿವಾಗ we went to a professional school. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ we didn't think about it. We thought about it as a passion. Even today, it is not a I mean, we teach professionally, but it's, I don't know how to put it across. It's not a profession. It's a passion, more of a passion than a profession.
More of passion. I know.
Yeah.
And were you using all the musicians, or were you dancing for the recorded music? How were you able to travel with these musicians?
Yeah. I have never danced recorded music myself. I used to initially get musicians from Kalakshetra to sing for me. Then slowly I trained. There was a person called Srinivas Bhatt in Udupi, and one Lalita Ballal. All these people started singing for me over there, and I used to perform with them because it was very expensive, and the process of going and getting the musicians from there was a lot. So I started training, getting a troupe from Udupi itself, which was convenient. And I wanted to be a teacher more than a performer. So it was very voluntary when I gave up performing.
Okay.
I never regretted it. I'm very happy to be a teacher.
Wonderful. That's a great contribution as a teacher. And of course, a lot of us have not seen your performance. A lot of people have not seen your performance. Anyway, it is not too late for you. You can still perform. in one way or the other,
Yeah.
sitting and doing some Abhinaya pieces and
Okay.
things like that.
Yes, of course.
Lovely. How
In
did
fact,
your journey start with the marriage and things like that? How
yeah,
did you take it up? You were in Mangalore, and you shifted to Bangalore, or what happened?
yeah, yeah. Okay. So when my husband's and my, it was a very arranged marriage, but when he came to meet me, I did tell him that I wanted to pursue my career, and it's a very difficult career. And there's a lots of work. There's not much money in it, and he said he'll support me, and he's always supported me. Hats off to him to be uh, to have never asked me what you're doing with dancing. You're spending a whole lot of time. There's no money coming in, very little money coming. Nothing. He's never said anything of that. He's always supported me. That is a promise he made me when he came to see me, and he's kept up with it. I'm
Lovely,
really
lovely.
thankful to him for that.
How big is your family? How many
I
children
have
you
only one
have and
daughter.
things?
I have only
Okay.
one daughter. She learned
Uh-huh.
dancing for a while and then she gave up. I think I was too strict with her. Because I didn't
Oh,
want to differentiate between her and students. So I think she gave up dancing, but she works with Google in Singapore. But
okay.
she's my best critic.
Oh,
So
okay.
she knows dancing in and out, and she's one of my best critics.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you have created a big ocean of dancers who are all around the world in Karnataka, and today we have with us Nikita and Ritika, two of your students with us. Can we have both of them on the screen, Sagarji? They will come on the screen, don't worry.
Namaste.
Yeah,
So
they'll
yeah,
come.
yeah, wonderful. Namaskaram, namaste,
Namaskaram.
namaste, both of you. One of the senior disciples of Guruji. We are very happy to have you with us, and we would like to know something about how your love and affection started toward dance, and especially to your Guruji. I heard she was very strict with her daughter. Was she very strict with you also? How was your relation? How did you, take it up so seriously with your Guruji? And I think you are there for a very long time with your Guruji. And what sort of that Guru Parampara you were able to take it from I mean, the blessings from Guruji, teachings and the techniques. Can you let us know something about it?
Sure, sir. I think at the outset, it's just very difficult to put into words the relationship between a guru and a student because for us, Minanati is another parent. She's always been with
Oh,
us. We've been in dance class more than we've been at home. So there's just such a huge impact and influence that she has on us as humans itself. I think over these 16 years that we've been with her, I think every moment we're just in awe of how beautiful she is as a human. And that's exactly what she tells us. Be a good human, everything else comes after that. And everything else will just fall in place if you're a good human. We see her live, breathe, sleep, eat, dance, everything. And it's such a big inspiration for us to see how passionate she is about the art form. And I think that has really translated in how we look at dance itself uh, as a way of life more than just an art form. And she keeps telling us a lot of her own experiences, how she sees inspiration in everything around her. For one, I mean, something that you would consider very insignificant, that's what inspires her to choreograph something. And to see that sort of mindset and approach towards everything in life itself, I think that plays a huge role in the kind of people we are today. Yeah, she's not just our guru, she's also our friend, and she's always there for us, and it's really inspiring to be with her. She always tells us that we have to give, give, give in order to take, in order to get what we need. So whenever we perform or anything, she always says, don't look at how much they're giving you or whether they're giving you anything, because you're performing for your audience and you're performing for your love for the art form and not for money or materialistic pleasure. So that's very inspiring. It's something that we don't look for rewards. We just imbibe the art form inside us, and it's always very inspiring to because she makes every class interesting. Every single class is not just a basic Aduvo class or anything. She brings in her creativity every single day, and like she said, in her photography, she's got inspiration from all around her, from nature. She sees the lotus bloom, and she tries to imitate that in the way her choreographies go, and it's very inspiring. Um, she also, I can say that she's very humble and she's her harshest critic. So she's not afraid to acknowledge anything that's wrong or anything that where there's a scope for improvement. She's constantly looking to improve her choreography, and it's it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And when the pandemic struck last year, she made an effort. She put in an effort to learn how to use Zoom, how to play music. She asked me how do I play this song so that everyone can hear it and dance. And then even with the lab, she made an effort to look at each and every student and bring out the corrections instead of just watching them dance pointlessly. And the effort that she's putting in is very inspiring. If your teacher puts in so much effort to make you learn, then it makes you want to do more. It makes you want to do your best and give it your best. It's not just her entire family that supported us through all our performances. We see Prabhu Uncle in the front row for every single performance, and after every performance, he always tells us, he gives us pointers and suggestions on how we can improve, and it's very nice to have a very supportive base. So it's not just our families alone. We have our own Yutrika family that's always supporting us, always watching our performances, even our performances which happen online over the past 2 years. Everybody, all our parents, all the students' parents, auntie's family, everybody watches them, and they make it a point to constantly encourage us. They always send messages on the group whenever we perform, and they encourage us. And it's very heartwarming to perform for such an audience. And auntie is
Wonderful,
really
wonderful.
in this sense.
That's right.
And
Your Guruji left her home with a very engaged and went to a great institution like Kalakshetra. And
yeah,
now she herself is like a Kalakshetra. And you are blessed to be with a wonderful Guruji like her.
with
What
truth.
are you planning? What are you planning? Like, how are you shaping your future? Like, do you also want to take up seriously our art and culture, promote it, be a dancer, be a promoter, be a teacher? Is that the way you want to take it up from the great Guru Parampara? What is your sort of the feelings, love and affection for this great art?
So I think aside from this, I think dance is like the biggest thing in our lives. I mean, we will do anything to just come to dance class and be with auntie and dance those few hours. Like I mentioned, we're more in dance class than at home. So I think he has created an entire generation of people who want to pursue dance, who want to promote art and culture and get what it deserves in society in today's world. So I think there's all of us for that matter, we have dance as the priority and everything else comes after that. I think and like you said, aunties are blessing. We're just really lucky to have had her as a constant in our lives, and she has shaped our thoughts in terms of what we want to do in the future, and dance is definitely the priority. Definitely in the future, we would also love to give what auntie has given to us. I'm sure all of us would be starting a school or like
Good.
at least teach students to dance, because it's something we need to share with everybody. It's an amazing thing that we need to give others. And auntie, in fact, has made us take classes, has taught us how to teaching is done. So
Wow.
that is definitely a
Wow.
goal that's in the pipeline for us.
So looks like it's the whole Kalakshetra style is being taught here, and you are also a dancer, you are a teacher, and you are organizer, and everything you can do. Wonderful. That's a great blessings from the great Guru. I am sure this parampara you will keep it up and take it up seriously, because the Indian art and culture is so rich and so good and so great. The whole world is looking into our country, and first thing they ask is, what is your culture? We are very proud that youngsters like you are coming up, taking this as a profession. Thank you so much, Nikita and Ritika. We are very, very proud of you. Please keep dancing, and we will see you more and more on screen, and get blessed from the great Guru. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Guruji, you have created a wonderful ocean and lovely students. We are trying to take it up as a professionals, and go ahead with you. And how?
Actually, I have a lot of people who have taken it up already professionally.
Oh, okay.
Like I have Gayatri Sriram who's teaching in Singapore. I have Anant who's now with
Singapore?
ICCR
Oh,
and
okay,
teaching in
okay.
Anant who's teaching in Kathmandu. He's gone through ICCR. And I have Panama who's in Singapore also. And these are some of my senior students. Supriya Komandor who's teaching in Bangalore itself. Jyoti Manoj. I have a whole lot of next generation of students who are already teaching, but they are all in different paths, and that's why when you said senior students, I got the recent seniors who are there in
Wonderful. No problem. No problem. They are all around the world. I'm sure that
Yes.
it's a great banyan tree. It's a big banyan tree. You have spread it, and wonderful. It is very, very, very great. Guruji, what we want to know more about the other aspects of the cultural organizations like Department of Kannada and Culture, the ICCR, and Central Sangeeta Nataka Academy, and zones, South Zone, North Zone, and so many things. Do you think these are the organizations which are trying to promote a lot of dancers and artists in general? Do you think they are able to, with so many dancers and so many professionals, do you think they are able to do something for the very promising upcoming dancers? These organizations are able to do something?
I think they are doing a lot, but the thing is there are too many dancers also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the problem. Today there are too many dancers. So you go to ICCR, there's a waiting list. You go to Kannada and Culture, there's a waiting list. So I mean, it's not that they are not doing, but there are a whole lot of dancers. But then there is you encourage with your institution. Every month you are giving performances. There is Ananya or Dr. Raghavendra does. And a whole lot of people who are giving opportunities. There are opportunities for students to do, but there are also, too many dancers. But I guess it's okay. Like I said, Sai, I go with the destiny. I feel if you're destined to get something, you will get it. You have seen me. I never go and talk to this one, that one, nothing. If I'm meant to get it, I will get it. If I'm not meant to get it, I won't get it. I just do my, like Krishna said, you do your duty, don't look for the result. So I go on doing my duty.
Karma
Devadika. I do my karma. I teach everybody very well. I break them. I tell them, besides dancing, one thing that is very important for me is that they have to come out as very good human beings, because that's very, very important. Because I don't want them coming out as very selfish human beings, who's trying to grab something. And I'd rather they be dancers and not very well known or something, doesn't matter. But be a good human being. Don't trod on anybody else's feet.
Yeah.
These are all very important.
How do you travel with your international students? You have a lot of students.
Yeah, like I said, it's all just
especially I think you have one of your senior student in Singapore.
Singapore.
How do you travel? How do they come to you, or you go there, and how do you manage so much of teaching?
When I've gone there and taught the students, some of our students have come here for master classes. I've gone for her performances, her students' performances. When she's traveled to Europe, I've traveled with her. So There
Oh.
have been, I mean, that's what all this happened because it was meant to be. I've never sought out for performances or things like that. What had to come, if God wished it on to be given to me, it happened. I don't know whether this is the best way to go through life, but it suits me. It does not make me anxious, upset, or anything. I'm a very content person. So in this
Okay, we can
contentment,
see
whatever
that.
comes my way, I do it.
We can see the contentment in your face. How do you go about the latest advanced
Choreography.
of recorded music, studio music, and do you still take musicians with you, or how exactly you travel at international or in
Yeah.
a national level
Okay. When
of
I'm
late,
going with
of today?
Gayatri, when I'm going with Gayatri, we take live music and go because Gayatri cannot dance for recorded music. You know, she likes to do with live
Oh,
music. So we, even if it's
wonderful.
taking money, putting money from our own pocket and doing it, she will do it. We take the
Wow,
we take even a lights person and go. She's a perfectionist. She
wonderful,
wants everything perfect. So we go
wonderful,
Natuna, singer, mridangist, Prasanna for this thing, and lighting person
wonderful,
also, Murugan for lighting. We take all these people and go. But
wonderful.
for my other students, we have collected a lot of recorded music. We go and do margams together, and collected a lot of
Okay,
music. So for all performances here in and around, when we are not getting paid very well, we go and do this. So if I get paid, I pay the children. If I don't get paid, I tell them you cannot get paid. But if I do get paid, they will also get paid. That is for sure.
wonderful,
Because I
wonderful,
want them to know that this is a profession and I treat them professionally. But if I don't get paid, they're willing to come and dance for nothing also because they love the dancing. They love the art form just as much as I love it. And
wonderful.
whoever's taking up dance, it's very important for them to know that when you're doing something in an art form, we have to do it selflessly, knowing that we love it. And getting up each day to know that we are doing something that we love. And each day we have an opportunity to think about God, from morning till night, in some form or the other, we are in touch with Him. We're blessed with that. So we have to be happy with that.
And this little bit of encouragements what we get, like awards, the state award, the national award, Sangeet Natak Akademi award, and now I think even the doctorates have been honored from different universities, and of course some people do PhD and get a doctorate. What do you think these awards? Does it make any sense for an artist to
See, people want
grow?
it. If people want it, it's good for them. I've never
Mhm.
sought any award. For me, a student coming and telling me, I love dancing because you have made me love dancing, is an award.
Wow.
For them to come and say, I love you because of the way you have taught to me and you're like a mother to me, and that is an award. It's like a Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan. So I don't look forward for anything. Karnataka Kalashri also came to me, I accepted it. If it didn't come to me, I would still be happy. It doesn't change anything. The way I teach is the way I am. The way I am is the way I am. So it really doesn't matter to me. But of course,
Now, yeah,
if people get it and they feel good about it, I'm happy for everybody. For anybody and everybody who's got it, I'm the first one to write and said, congratulations. I'm very happy for you.
congratulations.
You deserve it and you get more awards. I'm for it. But I myself am not looking for anything because I never looked
Wonderful.
for anything in my life. So wherever I have reached Sai, I'm happy
Ah,
that God
wonderful.
has brought me to wherever I am. I'm
I
grateful to
know.
Him forever.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So I
Such
never
a
look
long
forward
journey. Yeah,
to anything in my life. Whatever I have got is what I deserved, what that God thought
wonderful.
I deserved. So I'm happy.
Do you think you were associated with the Natya Institute of Kathak and Choreography, the College of Choreography, and Attakalari, and many other institutions? Do you think these institutions are really making more dancers, and you are also contributing to them, and a lot of dancers are able to do their bachelor degree, master
Yes.
degrees, and PhDs. Do you think this is really a good process which is going
Yes,
on?
of course, it's a very good process. Actually, when Maya Didi asked me to come and teach, that also it happened unexpectedly. I was
Okay.
teaching down in below, and Didi came and told me, "Can you take class upstairs because we have a program downstairs?" I said, "Okay, no problem." And then she saw me teaching the Patakas, Tipatako, and all to the some 3-4 students I had. Then she said, "Oh, you're from Kalakshetra?" Then she said, "There is a vacancy because Alaknanda has moved to Canada. Would you like to come and teach in the institution?" I said, "Okay, I'll do it." That's what I said. It just happened. And for Didi also, I'm eternally grateful because of her, I came to know about a whole lot of dance students, and it was really great to teach in Natya Institute. I'm eternally grateful to her because I didn't know anybody in Bangalore. She didn't know me also. For her to have the faith that I would come and teach there properly, I'm grateful to her eternally.
Great. Regarding this art critics, have you come across any of these art critics? Because once I think Dr. Sunil Kotari was talking a lot about you and your contribution. Have you come across any of these art critics who have suggested you regarding some big choreographic presentations, or what you're doing and you still have to do something? Have you already achieved? And what was the responses from these art critics of great repute
Um,
who have been associated?
yeah. SNC was very encouraging. So he would come
Okay.
for my performances. I mean, the first performance that I did, of course, he literally ripped me apart. But that was,
Okay.
but it was okay. It was a performance like that because I had a performance in Chaudaya and there was some big function happening and the program started late. So I was in a bad mood. And he wrote about that. He
Okay.
said it could have been because of it that she was in a bad mood and she did it or something like that. And I mean, he was very correct in whatever he said. And later on, when I did a production called Usha Sandhyas, this was for the grant from the uh, central government grant. Only once I got it. So when I did that production, he was very, very appreciative. He said it
Central
was
government?
so good and all
Oh.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So whatever I did, he was very appreciative of it. But whether they're appreciative or they're not appreciative, if they are not being appreciative, it could be because it was not good. So then you need to sit and think about it and say, yeah, if it is not good, this was a reason that it was not good, and correct it. And if supposing that said that it was not good, even though it was good, then you can go and speak to them and tell them, this is my perspective and this is how I did it. So I'm sure they would understand about it. So I've never had any major problems with critics or anything of that sort. And if they did criticize, I would go into ponder inside and see, whether there was a mistake. And when he ripped me apart, there was a mistake because I went on stage with a lot of discontent because it started
Okay.
late and things like that, and
Mm,
it
mm,
showed on
mm,
my face, I'm sure. And he did it, so it's perfectly all right. Sometimes they're correct, sometimes they're not correct. If they're not correct, I think we should go across and speak to them and put our perspective, and they would probably understand, what you have to do, sort of thing. But we need critics, definitely.
That is true. That is true.
I wish we
Is
had more
it? Okay.
reviews. We
Okay.
don't get enough reviews nowadays. Where do we get? Which paper gives us reviews?
Yeah, now we don't have any reviews
We
and
don't
things
have
like that.
reviews.
That
We
is true.
need we
We
need
don't have
people
any
to
papers.
criticize us. We need people. In fact, I would Sulochana Sarla's grandchildren are in my class. After every performance,
Oh,
I go and I ask for her
yeah,
feedback. I'll tell her, please tell me.
that's
And
right.
she gives me her feedback, and I
Yeah,
accept it.
she's one of the best
Jyoti
critic, I
Venkatram is a
think
good
so.
friend of mine, so she would
Uh-huh.
also give me her feedback, and I would take the feedback. Why not?
Wow.
We need other people to
Yes,
tell us, that the layperson didn't understand what you did. So it's a art of communication. So yeah, why not?
did you also come across presenting some wonderful papers and lectures, demos in universities and things like that about our art and culture, especially dance?
I don't recall doing anything in a university or something. I've gone as examiners to the Bangalore University and
Oh, okay, okay,
Jain
okay.
University. I've gone and done a workshop for one of the, I think it was one of the universities, Indira Gandhi, this things.
Okay.
I've gone and done a Abhinaya workshop and all that. But
Okay.
no, I've not done much. As I told you, I spend every person in my class is taught by me only. A 5-year-old to a 50-year-old, I only take class. Only if I'm
Okay.
not in town, only if I have to go somewhere, then the class should not stop. That's the time when I tell my students to take classes. So
Is there any
when you're doing
difference?
that, then
Yeah. Is there any difference in the technique of teaching the female students and male students? You have a lot of male students also, female also you have plenty. What sort of techniques? Is there any little bit of techniques? Is there any
the
you
technique is
use?
the same. I use the
Okay.
same technique to use the nritta and all that. While doing
Okay.
Abhinaya, I try to find, I mean, the one male student who's really done very well under me is Anant. I don't know of anybody
Okay.
else who's really taken it up other than him. I would
Okay.
find, padams that, padam or ashtapadi that talk about from the male point of view and ask him to do that and things
Wow.
like that. So
Ah,
I would encourage him to do that. Yes.
wonderful.
And he's done
Wonderful.
it. In fact, for Ananya
Okay.
Samarpana last year, he did a completely thing from a male point of view.
Oh, okay.
The entire Margam was with Padam, Krishnani Beginabara from male point of view, Ashtapadi, Charushile, everything he did from a male perspective, and he did it very well. And I encourage my
great.
students when they're older to do on their own, and I would give them pointers. Even with Gayatri, she would do productions. Initially, I helped her out. After that, I would say, no, you have to do it on your own. I will give you pointers because it has to
Wow.
be from your point of view.
Wonderful.
I should not be spoon feeding them, and
Yeah.
they don't need it. They're all intelligent, very good dancers,
Yeah.
very intelligent dancers. So why should I not be giving them their credit for that? I
That's
should not be telling, I want to do it for you.
Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
take a back seat, and
That's
we
right.
should know how to take a back seat.
Wonderful. Today we have one more young student who's also been very fascinated with your team, Anant and Somsekhar Chudanath, who's been doing a lot of work individually, and he and his wife are professional dancers, and they have dedicated their life for dance, and they are also running a dance institution. So can we have Somsekhar on the screen, please? And he's trying to bring a lot of youngsters and do a lot of work for the youngsters. Somu, namaskaram.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, ma'am.
How are you?
Namaste.
I'm doing good, sir.
We have a great guru with us. Yeah, we have a great guru with us, and she's been talking about the journey. And as a youngster, what would you like to ask about the youngest generation? What is happening? Would you like to talk to Guruji about something about the young generation and what you're facing, problems and things like that?
Sure, definitely, sir. Ma'am, namaste.
Namaste.
And it's so honor. I'm so honored to speak to you in this show, ma'am. And I always cherish the days when I was learning. I was a student in Natya and your classes. So that's where we also started learning the charis and karanas from you, and the viniyogas and everything. And we always enjoyed your sessions. And after
Sure.
that, I was also fortunate to be associated with so many dance productions that you have choreographed and travel with you to different places and to be part of the productions. Thank you so much for giving me those opportunities and making a part of your productions, ma'am.
Thank you. But when you say maybe I needed male dancers, so you are a good dancer, so that's how I would have taken you, no? Otherwise, no. So it's mutual. You wanted to find an opportunity. I wanted a person to be part of my production. And you are a good
Thank you,
dancer,
ma'am.
so I gave you the opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I wanted to ask you, you created so many beautiful dance productions and Moksha Mudra and Bhavayami, all those things. And how did you come across, like when you come to Moksha Mudra, you have taken, it is a little deviated from the tradition that you've taken so many different concepts in that, different stories put together, all those things, ma'am. The idea behind it, and how you, like, what was your experience while you creating those choreographies and those productions, ma'am?
Yeah, Moksha Mudra happened because Gayatri at that point wanted us to do for some association in Indian association in Singapore or something. She wanted to do something connected with uh, freedom. So we wanted to use some. She wanted to use some freedom songs on. So I felt that it was not freedom was not freedom for me. So then we thought of Nachiketa. That also didn't, it was too spiritual. Then I sat, actually, the whole idea was my own, where I thought we can do the journey of the earth in contemporary, where the earth moves into different seasons: summer, monsoon, uh, autumn, and winter. We took the 4 seasons and did, and spring. And in each season, I brought in a particular woman who attained moksha. So there was the earth moving into summer. In summer, we took Amrapali, how she became from a Vaishya into a Buddhist monk. And then it went into monsoon, where the journey of this thing was done by contemporary Bharatanatyam movements initially, but later on we did it with some contemporary dancers also. And from there, the heroine was Radha, who was the Jivatma Paramatma, how they get together. And then the next was Sita in autumn, where she was a princess, but everything was taken away from her. Like the leaves fall off a tree, but the tree stands firm, in spite of all the leaves falling off. So she stood firm in her determination. And then for winter was very difficult, but I thought in winter, when it is very cold, we take warmth from the heat. We light a fire and take heat from that. So when Jhansi Ki Rani was told that her child could not be take over her after husband's death, he could not take over. That is when the heat, the anger in her brought her to fight against the British, and she died for her country. That was her moksha. And then the fifth one was Amrita, because we wanted it to come in today's contemporary women. So in the spring, we showed the spring, and then we brought in Amrita's life. Amrita was a Bishnoi woman who believed in, Bishnois believe in, they revere nature. So she goes and hugs the trees, and they chop her along with the trees. And then they decide, that this is not, we have to nurture. And then we brought in the Bhumi Mangalam song, where in the Mangalam, where everything is required, and we grow into a tree, and then we ended in a lotus-like thing, because lotus is so much associated with our philosophy, sort of thing. So it was a very beautiful production. Unfortunately, we have done it once in India, and I think twice in Singapore.
That was a very beautiful blend of classical and contemporary which come together, ma'am. So which I have, I was a part of it, and I really enjoyed it. Ma'am, when you did this kind of production, right now we have come across, like, from the proscenium stage to the digital platform now. Now, all the youngsters, we have a freedom of doing our own and presenting it. Like, we don't have any critics. We don't want any critics now or anybody to present us. We can just present ourselves right in a way, like any minute we can, and whatever we do. How do you see this? Like, how do you come across, like, how good it is and also how bad it is for the youngsters, or what they can take care when they're presenting themselves? Like when you created some product, a lot of thought goes in it, and
Yes.
blending two different styles is how much the process you do. Like, what is the suggestions that you give for the youngsters, like when they are getting into a new kind of evolving something new? So what would they be, should be taken care, or how it can be done better? So any suggestions or any guidance that if you can give out of your experience?
Yeah. See, a lot of research has to go into it. You know, if I had to do a production of Navarasa Krishna, I have read about 5-6 books on Krishna. And if you ask me any question on that, on my production, I should be able to give you my perspective and where I took it from, what I took it from. So research is very, very, very important. You have to know the subject. And so you need to take 6 to 8 months to do a production. Don't say, I can do it in 15 minutes, 15 days. You can do it in 15 minutes also, but it's not going to be good if you don't do. So research is very important. Authenticity is very important. Don't give up your, I don't know, most people don't like my saying this, but like I told you, I refuse to do something that didn't come from my heart. Unless you feel comfortable of doing something, your heart tells you that this is good or this is not good. I mean, you close your eyes and ask yourself. Every one of us know that is good or it is bad. You know, nobody needs to tell us. And in that way, I feel sometimes this not having a critic is a little dangerous. Also, I've seen a lot of youngsters, they will never come and ask you, ma'am, how was the production? They'll say, Chanagittalva. I have a lot of people coming. They don't want you to tell something bad about it. I don't. It's not my place to tell. Unless somebody asks me. There are people who come and ask me, they say, I want your genuine opinion about it, and I give it to them. After they're telling, are you capable of taking it? I'm not doing it. I can just say it was very nice and move on. But if they ask me genuinely, I give them this thing. Only because I think we've been in this field for long enough to know, you know, there should be a rootedness in everything. So when I said I did something contemporary, it didn't leave the root of Bharatanatyam.
Exactly,
You know, when we
that's
did,
what I was.
it was rooted in Bharatanatyam, definitely.
Yes.
So, you know, a lot of thought process had gone into it, a lot of, you know, asking, talking, speaking about it, getting an opinion about it, lots of things. These are very important. You cannot think I am the greatest. I am, you know, this I, me, myself can get us into a very, very bad situation, I feel.
Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes.
youngsters have to go through it also, I think, and face it and learn it themselves. You know, there's always an up and down and up and down and up and down. So youngsters
Yeah,
will
ma'am.
go through it and then they will learn it also. I'm sure they will learn it. I'm a very
Yes, ma'am,
optimistic
definitely.
person.
And your
Always
guidance is also, it gives a lot of hopes, and also like the most of the youngsters, if they listen to it and if they can change themselves, and if they work little more serious and more hard, so that it will be so nice to see what they
No,
will
but I
come
have
up
a
with.
lot of hope with the younger generation, okay? They learn things much, much, much faster than we do.
Yes.
Because
But how do you?
aware of the outside world. So what I took years to learn, my girls learn very fast.
Mm,
You know, I'm not completely against youngsters at all. I feel that next generation is doing a lot. There is hope for our dance to there's a great future for our dancers
yes, ma'am.
and dance
Ma'am,
itself.
ma'am, how do you see the proscenium stage to the digital platform, ma'am? How you enjoy being like past 1.5 years, every program is being digitalized and it's been into a cell phone or a laptop. Like how much you enjoyed, and how do you
Initially, I
what do you
enjoyed,
say about it?
but it's getting a little tedious now. I was enjoying it, but it is getting a little tedious. But also, when we're doing digitally, we have to remember one thing, that the person who's watching has the power to switch it off. So
Yes.
you have to choose your items, knowing that you have to keep it interesting. You have to keep it, you know, so that a person, I always tell my students, choose it, knowing that somebody has the power of just switching off and saying, I don't want to watch this.
Yes.
See that it is interesting, see that it is very good, so that a person would say, oh my God, even though it is on a digital stage, I want to watch this child because she's good.
Too good.
You
Yes.
have to take care of that. Don't do long items. A Varnam for a digital stage is a little dangerous because people can switch off.
Yeah.
But it's a
So
wonderful
like,
item. I love Varnams, but people can switch it off. So you have to be very careful about what you choose and present in a digital platform. And of
thank
course,
you,
the
ma'am.
live music and the live stage the experience
Okay.
is, of course, completely
Yes.
different.
And
I went for an Arangetam on Saturday, and I just loved just being in a theater and seeing a performance, just
very
listening to
nice,
the
ma'am.
live music.
And I hope everything will be proscenium. Like we'll come back to the proscenium stage very fast. And I hope I will also like to be part of your production when it's staged again, ma'am.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's so honored. I'm so blessed to talk to you in this show, and thank you so much for everything.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Somo, for being in
I
our show.
Thank
thank
you.
both of
Thank
you
you,
and the Federation of
Somo.
Karnataka classical dancers for asking me
No,
to talk. I
I
was
have
very
one more
nervous,
word
but
with
you
you.
made me very comfortable.
Thanks, Somo, for being with us.
Thank you.
Madam Ji, we would like to have your last opinion and your suggestions for the future of these artists who are really taking up more seriously. And how would you go with them? Because you are all the gurus or senior gurus who are now doing lot of work and now working with all the lot of youngsters. They have a dream. This is a dream that our art and culture will go into a different level. And with the advanced technology, I'm sure, as you said, the present generation is very fast in learning. And how can we take this to a bigger spectrum of audience, bigger level of artists, and more youngsters to take it up, and more communications to the audience? Because the cinema and serial media are overtaking so much, and it is taking away a lot of time of our families and youngsters. So I think somewhere we have to fight out and see that this traditional art is so rich. You have sacrificed your whole life from age of 8, and it is a very big journey, very big journey. And I don't know if any of these youngsters will go at the age of 8 to learn to Kalakshetra or any institution today, because it's impossible. The vision is totally. What is your suggestion? How can these young
See,
how
Sai, I'm a
can
very optimistic
you
person.
know
Like
how
I said,
can you? Wow,
I'm a very
wow,
optimistic person. So I feel, I see in my girls, there is a zest for dancing. They some of them have,
wow,
through their examinations, they come for dance. You know, there was a
wonderful.
time when people would say, I have exam, oh, I
Yeah.
won't come to class. But nowadays, these children, and they all score 97% in spite of coming to
Oh,
class. And they say it is because we come to class, because there is a break from
wow.
the studies and then they go back and study and things like that. So they at
Ah,
present, they're pursuing studies and
wow.
dancing. But at some point, I know that they're all going to come back, because the bug of dancing will not let go of anybody easily. So we have to
Yeah.
give them opportunities, but also, we need to sort of weed out good dancing and bad dancing. Good dancing should be given,
Yes.
uh, 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 you have to lift it up a
More
little bit,
promotion. Yeah.
promotion.
Yeah.
And we should not just give opportunities because we know people or things like that. We should give
Ah,
them because the dancing is good. For me,
that's
some of
right.
this is very, very important, that you've been given an opportunity, your
That's right.
students have been given an opportunity because they think that they're good dancers, not because they know Minal Prabhu. It should not be because somebody knows me that they're getting an opportunity. They should get an opportunity because they have proved that they're good dancers. And that is the only criteria that we have to look forward to. So we keep on saying, youngsters are doing their, people don't, older people. I'm one of the people, I go and buy a ticket and go and watch youngsters' performances when they do it. Because I feel we need to encourage them. When Parshvanath puts up a performance and he says, I will pass, I'll give you a pass, I'll say, no, I'll buy a ticket and come and watch you, because it's very important for us to buy the ticket and encourage them, because it's very, so, but nobody does that. So what happens is, in the process, how do dancers survive? It's very difficult.
Yeah.
So you need to have ticketed shows for classical dancers, and then see, because his performances are good, people are willing to come. So if you're good, people are willing to pay a ticket and come for your performances.
Wonderful.
So it has to be like that. We also have to strive to give our best, and the audience will then come. So I'm sure there are many other dancers. I mean, this thing I told about Parshvanath, it's not that I think only he's a good dancer. There are several good dancers, and but it was just taking an example when I was putting him across and telling that we have to encourage them, and even as dance teachers, we need to encourage them. As audiences, we need to realize that our classical dancers have to survive, and how much ever I say should not dance for money. You need to survive. So it's be good if people can buy tickets and watch dancing and, make it into a very professional profession sort of thing. Give it the respect that it is due for the profession. It needs that respect, because art is beyond you, me, and tomorrow we all will not be there, but the art will continue to be here.
Art will continue.
And who are the people, the youngsters who are taking it forward? And they need to take it forward and give it its due respect.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for a wonderful time and wonderful blessings, suggestions. Art will be there always. We are not going to be there. What a wonderful line you have said. It's a great, great golden words. I'm sure even our Bharatamuni said the same thing 2000 years ago and gave us the Natya Shastra. Art is always there and it will always be there. And great, great, great opportunity for all the youngsters to have gurus like you who've been promoting so much of youngsters and giving so much of opportunities and giving the positive thoughts and giving them so much of courage to do a lot of works. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you. Girls.